let's get down to business. Today's video, we're going to talk about Jason Khalipa, 8-time CrossFit Games athlete, 3 times on the podium, author of the AMRAP Mentality, as well as the AMRAP Mentality podcast, and owner of NC Fit. All around good dude, father, absolute amazing guy. Today's video, the reason why we're jumping on Jason Khalipa, we're going to talk about what his program, what his mentality, what his lifestyle is about, what his content has done to affect my training and how it's benefited me and how it might benefit you. So firstly, we're going to talk about the AMRAP mentality and what is it from my point of view. So basically, the AMRAP mentality is the mentality you have while doing a workout and how you can apply that mentality into everyday life, whether it's work, your career, hobbies, pretty much anything, mindset, and your training itself. Now, Jason has had a very prestigious, he's won many games titles, he's been to the games many times, as well as he's just an all-around beast when it comes to the competition floor. Now, me personally starting off in CrossFit, one of the things I found really amusing was just how much bigger Jason was compared to the other dudes. I mean, this guy had some serious fucking arms on him. I was like, damn, man, those pipes. So it always intrigued me, like, what's this guy doing? But when I watched him and when I started to begin to follow him more, I just realized he had this straightforward mentality. He just fucking hammered everything home. He gave his 100%. He trained hard. He's one of the OG CrossFitters. When you remember old school CrossFit, you remember Josh Bridges, Rich Froning, Dan Bailey, Jason Khalipa, all these big boys training together all the time, and it's what got me originally into CrossFit and what makes me still love this sport today. And funnily enough, I really missed, that kind of style, and that's how I stumbled on Jason, was that I was like, oh, let's see how this dude's doing. He's been out for a few years, there's been a few problems he's had, and just seeing his Instagram and his content and that kind of thing, and then that's what one thing led to another, which is why we're making this video today. So NC Fit, the app. Jason has this app called NC Fit where daily workouts plus videos and demonstrations come out that you can follow along. Now, originally this app was free. I believe you do have to pay a small fee now to get onto the app, but after that, the amount of value you get from this app, even if you don't go all in for it, is next to none. Just following Jason's AMRAP Mentality Instagram, you get enough free content on that alone that you probably, jump on this NC Fit app. If you really enjoy the workouts, the style of training he has, you've got option B. You can progress further if you really want. Now, one thing that I really enjoy is that he's integrated his app in a way that CrossFit boxes and gyms can use it as part of their main programming. So instead of, if you don't have a lot of time on your hand, you can use it as your main programming for your class, your gym, your box, that kind of thing. As well as it's really good for people who train at home or by themselves or at a Globo gym, and they might not have that structured program that they do need to be able to perform at, their peak or get the most out of their training. Now, my favorite thing about Jason, it's what really got me talking about this video, is his AMRAP Mentality podcast. Now, as he says, the AMRAP Mentality podcast is where he interviews interesting people to see how they get the most out of their day by applying the AMRAP mentality, as many reps as possible. And there is some pretty damn interesting people he interviews. Things like Matt Fraser, Patrick Vellner, Brooke Entz, Brooke Wells, Camille LeBlanc, I hope I didn't butcher that name too much, and many, many more people outside of CrossFit, Mark Bell, Max Greenfield. So a huge range of people he interviews, and it's just really incredible to see how he applies that mentality and how these everyday people apply that mentality to life, and how it's gotten them to succeed so far in whatever they're wanting to do, whether it's CrossFit or movies or acting or powerlifting or whatever he's interviewed. The podcast itself, me personally, right, I'm going to be honest, I've never really listened to a podcast before. I didn't even know what a podcast was. Jess had to explain what a podcast was to me. So this was one of my first podcasts. And for me, it was really good that, it was the first one I listened to, because it was so relevant to myself and how I guess the things he speaks about, how he attacks every day, how he stays fired up, and that kind of thing. The best thing I got out of the AMRAP mentality is how to use every day to its fullest potential, as well as allowing yourself to stay fired up, to get hungry, and just to start your week strong. Now, if you don't feel like you have the time for the 60-minute podcast listening for something for that long, you don't have the attention span, he does offer what's called Coffee with Khalipa. It's a 4 to 6 minute video that comes out every Monday if you're in America, or Tuesday morning for myself in Australia, that he talks about a topic that's on his mind. Now, this little segment alone is enough value that you don't need to watch any of his other stuff the rest of the week. It's just so much good content that comes out, and I guess it's just things that are relevant to not only his life, to other people around him that's happening at that point. So definitely check out the AMRAP mentality if you do feel like podcasts are your thing, or if you've never tried a podcast before and you're into CrossFit, it's definitely something that I would recommend. Now, finally, the workout. Now, as all of my videos go, where we do Instagram beasts, yes, we try one of their workouts. That's the whole point. And see, I guess, how the workout panned out, what I thought about it, that kind of thing. Now, just talking about this workout, so the workout itself was 3 minutes on, 1 minute off for 5 rounds. Now, you started with a 7 cal assault bike, and then 7 double dumbbell front squats with 2 15 kilo dumbbells. So fairly light, nothing crazy. It was just back and forth. And the whole idea was to try and maintain 3 rounds on every round. Now, there was a catch to the workout. Every round that you progress through the AMRAP, he adds a rep. So it goes 8 calories on the assault bike, but then still 7 dumbbell burpees. So the assault bike goes up by a rep every round. The final round, you reset back to 7, and the whole idea is to try and beat your original score. Now, my feeling through the workout was pretty much, holy shit, oh my god, my legs. It was a lot of legs, a lot of squatting, definitely a lot of pushing on the assault bike as the rounds went on. Of course, you're not only more fatigued, but the calories are increasing, so it's getting ever so hard to maintain a solid pace. But it was an awesome workout, a great little piece of conditioning that definitely split up my week. And yeah, definitely would recommend you guys give it a try. So I'll leave the link to the Instagram post in the description so you can check it out yourself and see his standards to the workout. But no, really enjoyed it. I'll let you guys see yourself. A couple of rounds of myself, Jared, and Harry crushing that workout. And I'll be back in just a moment.
Give them prayer hands, say what's up America. Half of you should know me, right? Other half a replica. Shout out to my always shout out to that one dude. Oh wait, fuck that, ain't nobody held my ass out on this jump through. Seems like they finally give a fuck when they see numbers climbing. Most my family don't even believe that those numbers mine. Remember when I got like 350 each record dropping? Now those tracks are selling, so Cayman's making some record. What? Yeah, homie, check the repertoire. Jesus on my speed down, waiting for the heavens call. This one's for the kids like me who never had a chance to ball. And bitch, I made it cause I never gave myself a chance to fall. Man, it's funny how this happened though. Thought I'd be a lawyer, now I'm stacking off a rapping show. Guess it's in my blood to pack a venue bag and ravage ho. So when you see my name, just know I ain't some fucking average Joe. Yeah, I guess it's true that when they say the few will make it, and best believe in that category, I found a placement. This was never for the money or the payment, this was simply for respect, and a fuck you to those who hate it. I've seen people come and go, that's the crazy part, and even my closest homie said I ain't going very far. I've had many people tell me I should stop, but a little talk from these fuckers never made me wanna flop. Now it's 2 feet on a pedal, going harder than I ever have, and still ain't never settled. Shots to homie Jonas, you may have never known this, but I used to reap, you lost me when I was going through bullshit. Every time I cut and thought about blowing my skull, and I would turn that song to max and close the pill bottle I'd open. And even though the pain inside my head was never spoken, you're the reason I am me, and no longer the kid who's broken. So I thank you for reversing my frown and picking me up off the dirt when I was laying on the ground. The reason that the clock inside my head had been rewound, and the motivation you gave me to put on this fucking crown. On this fucking crown.
So just going to quickly summarize how Jason has impacted myself and my training, and what I reckon you guys should do just to check out a bit more of his content. Now, Jason, his podcast itself, plus I guess the AMRAP Mentality Instagram page, have benefited me by just giving me a little bit of fuel. You know, some of those days that you're not feeling amped up, you're not motivated, and just listening to that 6-minute Coffee with Khalipa, it really starts my engine off and it gets me amped up. Now, I remember listening to one of his podcasts just before I came in for some back squats, and I wasn't feeling very motivated, but then I hit those back squats and I actually did better than I did last time on the back squats when I was very amped up. So, not saying it's due to his podcast, but it was the motivation I needed, the kickstart that I needed to allow me to crush that 3RM back squat. So, I guess thanks Jason for that. But yeah, apart from that, he's just one of a kind dude. What a beast. Like, shit, man. Like, he's proven himself. He's a distinguished CrossFit athlete, but he's also now a father, and he owns this business that helps other people stay motivated, and I guess just overall just putting out great content. So that's why this week I've considered Jason Khalipa as the Instagram beast. Now, if you liked the video, guys, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, and check out some of the other videos. If you haven't, or you're kind of new to the series, there's 3 other videos in the playlist, so I'll leave a playlist card at the top. Click on that one and watch some of the other ones. They're pretty decent. Well, I think so anyway. I mean, I should think so. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching this video, and see you next time, beasts.
Sipping codeine in the nosebleeds, cause nobody around her know me. I'm so low-key. She say that she missed her old me, cause she lonely, but it ain't my fault. Sipping codeine in the nosebleeds, cause nobody around her know me. I'm so low-key. She say that she missed her old me, cause she lonely, but it ain't my fault. Nah, it ain't my fault. I be laid back doing